Hello and welcome to game week 2 of Premier League predictions. Last week I got 3 points, was it? Yes, I got 3 points last week, which isn't good at all. I think my average is around 5. 3 is not good. And the rules are here for the scores. 1 point basically for a correct outcome, and then you add another point if you get the correct score line. And last week saw a lot of upsets. United losing to Hull, Villa getting smacked, Spurs getting smacked, Liverpool drawing and should have lost. Very crazy week, but hopefully this week is a lot more simpler and predictable. This week we're going to kick off with Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. So Crystal Palace last week they faced Everton, and a game that you could say that they weren't really too good. And I don't think things are going to get any better for them. They got players getting linked away, like Smiley Sarr, who hasn't played for them or didn't play for them. He's linked to Liverpool now. I think he's out the door. I just don't know where he's going. And then Mateta, he was getting linked to Aston Villa, and I think he's out the door as well. And in the game, Riyadh picked up a knock, and I think he's missing this game. So they are already looking thin. They were looking more thin than they did before. And now City, they are looking completely different. I'm scared, a little scared, because it's something new. You can already tell it's a new idea that Maresca is bringing to the team. But it's not bad. At the moment, it's not bad. We did struggle with Bournemouth, but that's because we just couldn't finish our chances, which we created, I think, a decent amount. I think we should be winning this one. I'm going to say that City should win here 2-0, even though it is away from home. I just don't trust Crystal Palace to get a goal here. Like I said, they're missing 2 of their best attackers. So yeah, 2-0 for me. Next up is Liverpool versus Forest. Liverpool, they faced Newcastle, and a game that you could say they should have lost. It was 2-1 until the very last minute where they got a pen and Szoboszlai converted it with a really good pen, but still, they were pretty dreadful throughout the game. Midfield looked like they were getting ran through. Attack, especially Isak and Wirtz, there needs to be questions there. Not enough hate is going their way, because, I mean, those fees that are put on their head and no one's really pointing fingers at them. As for Forest, not a good game, not a good start for Glasner there. They lost to Leeds, I believe it was 1-0, and then they lost to Leeds again, back-to-back games in the Carabao Cup, and the Carabao Cup was yesterday. So they lost 2-0 in that one. So not a good start for him. He's already knocked out of one of the cups. You know, what is his name? Marinakis? He is not happy right now. But for this game, at Anfield, against Forest, Forest can't pick up points here. They've beaten them twice. I think they played 4 times recently, and they've beaten them twice in the most 2 recent games. So Forest can upset them here. Liverpool, I think change definitely needs to come to them. They need a new attacker, a new winger, a new midfielder, but they won't get them before this game. So they will struggle here. That's why I'm going down the middle and saying this game ends in a 1-1 draw. Next up is Coventry versus Hull, which is basically a championship game here. The 2 promoted sides that came up, or at least 2 of the 3. Coventry in their game against Arsenal looked pretty bad. I expected a lot more from them. They were trying to play out the back. They were trying to play their own game a little bit, or sometimes, but it just didn't work. You gotta adapt. And then Hull, on the other hand, they played United out of the park. In the first half, they were playing with them. They wanted the ball. Second half, they sat back because they had a 2-0 lead. Shoutouts to McBurney. Shoutouts to Giles, I think his name is. And shout out to the 2 goal scorers. I forgot their name, but shout out to them. They looked really good. For this matchup, Coventry versus Hull, last time they faced, which was last season, at Coventry Stadium, it ended in a 0-0. I'm going for another draw here. I think Coventry at home can produce something more than what they did against Arsenal, and especially against a lesser team in Hull. But I think Hull can still get a goal here. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Next up is Bournemouth versus Everton. Bournemouth faced City in a game where they didn't look too bad, but you can tell they weren't as at the level of a Andoni Areola team, right? There is a little bit of a decrease in terms of how good they were, but I still think they're all right. And they are missing a couple players. Like Christie wasn't playing. He usually starts. Of course, Krupi, he's not going to be starting for a while. And I still think they might get more players. I'm not too sure, though. But Everton, on the other hand, Everton faced Crystal Palace and beat them. They had an easy time, a pretty easy-ish time. It was at home as well, so they did good to get a win at home early on. Last season, they weren't too good at home. Overall, they were decent. I don't think they were great. For this matchup against Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium, in the last 5 times they have faced Bournemouth there, it has ended in 4 wins for Bournemouth, and the most recent time was an Everton win. But overall, Bournemouth do usually beat Everton at home. So that's what I'm going to go for. I think both teams are around the similar spots they were last season. So I'm going to say that this game ends in a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. Next up is Spurs versus Newcastle. And Spurs, my God, what a terrible start for them. We all thought they were going to improve a lot more, right, with the new signings. But a lot of the new signings look like they were playing for Spurs last season. Tonali, terrible. Van Heck, all over the place. Senesi, terrible, or not as good. The only real signing that looked decent was Fernandes when he came off the bench, which I do think he should be starting for this one, because I think it was match fitness maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Injury maybe. I don't know. But he should be starting this one. Yeah, Spurs getting smacked, what was it, 4-0? Holy moly. Not a good start for them. As for Newcastle, they faced Liverpool and actually surprised me. I thought they were going to lose that game. They should have won that game. Wissa finally had a good game in a Newcastle shirt. Same thing can go for Elanga. Midfield didn't look like they were, gutted, which they were. Defensively, still some issues, kind of. I think they can improve there. But overall, I think Newcastle looked good. But for this matchup, against Spurs at Spurs Stadium, for some reason, I think Spurs will do something or will get at least a point. But I'm saying the same thing for Newcastle. I can see them getting at least a point. So that means I'm going down the middle. If someone does win, it's probably Newcastle because of that performance that Spurs put out. I don't think De Zerbi's going to allow his team to get smacked two weeks in a row. I don't know. I just can't see it. So I'm going down the middle once again, and I'm going for another 1-1 draw. I know this is like my third one already, but I mean, there's another one coming. But yeah, a 1-1 draw. Next up is Chelsea versus Brighton, and Chelsea faced Fulham last week, a couple days ago, and they beat them 3-2. And Chelsea, I mean, they didn't surprise me because I knew, or I sort of felt that they were going to be this good. They looked really good, especially in attack. Very fluid up there. The three interchange, going from left to right in the middle. Beautiful stuff. Couple issues in defensively. I think it was Colwill. Should have gotten a red card early on, but the ref said, nah, let me not do that. Which I understand. You could have just killed the game there, but I mean, it's a red card. It doesn't matter what minute it is. It could have been the first second. That's a red card. So Chelsea did catch life there, and they did struggle against Fulham. But overall, I think Chelsea did impress me, or met expectations. While Brighton, on the other hand, they absolutely blew Aston Villa out the park. 4-0, absolute beating. I think it was 4-0. Absolutely smoked Aston Villa, but take it with a pinch of salt, because Aston Villa looked like a completely new squad, and that's not a good thing. Brighton, they did good, but that's not what they're going to be doing to every single team. So here against Chelsea, I think they will be losing. It's going to be at Stamford Bridge. It's going to be against a way better team in terms of quality. So I do want to go for Chelsea, but I do think Brighton can score here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chelsea. Leeds versus Brentford is next, and Leeds, they faced Forest. They beat them 1-0. Then they beat them again in the Carabao Cup, knocking them out. So Leeds started off pretty good. They're using that same formation. As for Brentford, they also look good. They beat Spurs 3-0. Very good start for them. Very, very fluid. Not what people expected from them, but they did good as well. But now they have to go to Ellen Road, which is going to be a lot more difficult game than what Spurs did. Because Spurs, I mean, what the hell was that? I can't really split these two teams apart. I can see both these teams getting a set piece goal. These are probably two teams that are up there in terms of set piece goals. So I think they can both get one, and then it ends like that. So this is my last 1-1 draw prediction here. Next up is Sunderland versus Fulham. Sunderland, they faced They faced Ipswich. In a disappointing result. I expected them to win that one. They lost 2-1. So yeah, not a good game there from Sunderland. Maybe you could take it because that was an away game and they were better at home. I'm not too sure, but I just wasn't impressed with Sunderland there. As for Fulham, they absolutely surprised me. Against Chelsea, they looked fluid. Like, they looked pretty good. You can already tell what Arbeloa is trying to do. And sorry to Arbeloa, apologies. I did not know your game, but that looked pretty good to me. A couple of mistakes here and there, defensively and playing out the back. But overall, I think they were pretty good. And good enough for me to say I think they're going to beat Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Little upset there. I think Sunderland last season were really good at home, but I did not like what I saw. And Fulham, the opposite. I liked what I saw. So I still think it's going to be tight. There could be a draw as well, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Fulham. Next up is United versus Ipswich, and United, they got their ass handed to them by fucking Hull. The team that everybody thought is going to relegate in 20th place. No, it ended in a 2-0 win to Hull. United looked a couple steps off of it. Yeah, that midfield didn't look good. Attacked, dreadful. Dorgu especially. Defense was getting ran through. A lot of negatives. As for Ipswich, you can say it was a positive game. It definitely was. They got the 3 points. I didn't expect that. But I didn't really hear too much. I think Enciso was getting a lot of praise. Other than that, I think they did all right. But for this matchup at Old Trafford, United has to win. They have to bounce back, or it's going to be an absolutely long season for them. And I think they will. They think at home they should be coming back. Baleba might get chucked in immediately. They need a defensive midfielder, so he might get chucked in. I think Carrick will change the formation or the people who he had in, right? Because that clearly didn't work out. But yeah, I think this game ends in a 2-1 win to United. So I don't think it's going to be easy for United. I think they're going to make it hard for themselves, but they still end up winning the game 2-1. A lot of 2-1s and 1-1s I'm seeing. Sorry, but that's just what I see. And then the last game of the game week, we had Villa versus Arsenal. Villa, absolutely dreadful against Brighton, getting smacked 4-0, but you can't really blame them. Their team is completely different. They lost Emmy, or he's basically out the door. He's getting links to Chelsea now. Watkins is trying to go to Saudi Arabia. Tielemans and Rodgers, of course, we already know they're gone. Digne also gone. You could say 4 of the top 5 players have left the club, and they didn't really replace them all too well. They still need a striker to replace Watkins. Suzuki came in, who I guess isn't quite the level of Emmy. João Gomez, new signing, already has a red card. Terrible debut from him. Manzambi's still injured. Yeah, these guys are going through it, and now they have to go against the champions, the current champions, which is not going to be looking good. Arsenal had an easy game against Coventry. They looked very good attacking wise. Defensively, they were solid as well. I mean, it's Arsenal. I mean, they're going to get smoked. It might be another terrible showing for Villa here, which I'm predicting it's going to be. My prediction for the game is a 3-0 win to Arsenal. Yeah, no confidence in Villa. Those are my predictions for game week 2. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.